Hello, welcome back. Tonight I will speak about a book of mine and about a very interesting character called Lilith. And this is, I think, the fourth recording of the playlist. Or if you want to listen from the beginning, there's a link in the description box below. And if you want to read the book of Lilith that I have written and published on Amazon, there is a link to the book as well. And speaking about Lilith, we say, in the other recording we have spoken about the different aspects that Lilith appears known, through paintings or through culture or through art or through history. We say, Lilith is a character of the past, so it's everything correlated to Lilith has to do with the past as well. And in those paintings, those beautiful paintings of Italian painter who painted her, or the Raphaelites who painted her as well, we have spoken about the element of the snake. And so there is a painting where she appears exactly surrounded by the snake. The snake was almost like one with Lilith. It crawled around her, all over her body, And Lilith was playing with the snake, holding the head of the snake in her hand, with a very joyful, very happy expression on her face. And say, Lilith is part of that culture, And say, there are cultures in the world that knowingly or not, there are sometimes people believe in things, but they don't necessarily believe or know that it is a specific thing from where it came. They don't have the knowledge of the past as well. So, for example, there is the cult of the snake, of course, and the cult of the snake it's very ancient cult. The snake was one of the beginning symbols, or the symbols that appeared mostly and very old, or oldest as well, from all the symbols in different ways or creation. So the element of snake, it appears even in the Bible, and even more old than that. It is older than the Bible, the symbol of the snake. And the cult of the snake, from what I have read, what I know about, is that it is a woman cult, and it is represented, of course, by the snake, by the power of the snake. It's very much connected to the element of mother. They say the snake takes very good care of his eggs. The snake is a very good mother, and they have these figures of the women who they dance, and their hands are like snakes. There's the element of the hand being as a snake is. It can move in that way, and they even have dances where they dance as the snake, or they show this element. But in the figures, there were really very beautiful figures of a woman, and the snake appears. It's called the snake goddess, and there are different ones as well. So it is a very old cult, and it is represented by the woman, of course, in the meaning. So it does appear on different amulets or coins or caves or walls, or have been drawn by people in the sand. So the element of drawing comes even from a simple stick, and I move it in the sand and I create something that was, the humans always have drawn on the earth. That was how people did it before, before paper and stuff like that. We believe paper didn't exist. It means those people didn't know how to write or anything like that, when actually they were very, very intelligent, and they had everything what we have, even more. So the element of drawing in the sand, that's how even Plato or Aristotle have written and have taught students. They will draw in the sand. We say, here this, you can draw figures, you can write in the sand, you can put it away, write again. It is perfect. I think it even has a beautiful symbolistic of writing on the earth, the element of the earth. And it was even something helpful, because moment you write it on the earth, it's just it's different distance, longer distance between your eyes and what you're seeing. I don't know, it's just, I think, a perfect way to draw, and even children do that. I have done too as a child, it's not necessarily about writing, it's about drawing in the sand with a stick. And so that element of the woman with the snakes, with the element of the hands and so on, is very much Lilith, of course. And so, well, women have had, there are even now cultures where the woman is very powerful in that way, as seen as snake goddess, in the element of taking something what they see in the environment and taking those powers of those animals inside them. People in the past believed about that. So, well, if you hunt a bird and you eat it and you wear its feathers, you'll have that spirit of that animal. You'll have those abilities to sing or speak as a bird. Or if they will hunt a bigger prey animal, you will have the force of that animal, or the wisdom, or the patience, or so for example, lions, they were very much wished for, or it could be any animal, of course, so the snake represented that part of that woman, say, of course it appears, the snake appears, one has to understand the situation of the snake, and then one can discuss what the snake means. It always has a different meaning depending on what subject we are talking. The snake is an element like that. One cannot just say the snake means this, because it changes. The meaning changes depending what exactly it represents. It's a symbol of something that represents something, And even the element of the horn of the cows, which in the past people had, of course, very large cows, or different buffaloes, or different, they're very beautiful, different ones depending on the region. In Europe we have more the brown-white cow, or the black one, the bivol, the black cow. It is, they say the milk is better and it's more fat, it's very high quality milk. And of course to the normal milk cows, the white and brown, very beautiful. And but in Africa they have very even larger cows, totally, they look very different, and they have this beautiful horn that represents the half moon, or of course very much connected to the sun, actually, that full circle. And they are venerated in those cultures because they sustain the family, and of course connected to the stars and the cosmos, so they are very much beloved in that culture. And that too can be, sometimes men have taken it as a symbol in some tribes or cultures, but mainly actually it is a woman. It is Hathor in the Egyptian, which is represented by a cow with those horns, and it is, connected to the moon, so it is actually a very feminine symbol or aspect. So, the snake, another thing, is element of the magician. The snake is the element of magician. Even in the Bible, there is the story with the magicians, and they did the trick with the snakes. And say, well, who is a true magician? Who is able to throw sticks on the earth, and from the wood snakes will appear? And say, well, who is able to pull that trick? Who is a true magician? The king has summoned all the magicians in the land to be able to come and show him this trick, that element of transforming a piece of wood into a snake. And they say, well, there was one who was able, the only one was able to create that for the king. And it was that one which at first no one believed he can, There is a story in the Bible. So, well, a true magician, of course, is able to do that. But a true magician is rare. So the element of the snake appears as well. So, well, of course, the snake teaches always a very valuable lesson. The snake is the highest teacher. The snake is the wisest teacher. And the snake, of course, is known to have different powers or powerful. It is a powerful creation of God. In the minute that it does regenerate its own skin, it's able to regenerate even parts that go missing from his body. They have the element of the venom or of the bite, of the fangs of the snake. And say the mouth is able to open very widely. It always reminds me of cats. The cat mouth is the same when they yawn. It opens, I think, they are the animals which open most. Okay, they are of course the alligator who can open the most, the bones of that lower and upper jaw, but the snake doesn't have teeth. Now it has the fangs, so it can open fully, exactly as a cat. And yeah, they are they attack. They swallow different animals and so on and so forth. And they are cold-blooded, They don't have warm blood, that's why they often have to lay for hours in the sun. So they are connected to the sun, to the element of the light of the sun, It just, for me, it speaks something that I know, that the snake is a sacred animal. Snake is always speaks about something sacred at that level, at that importance. It is not a simple symbol. To say, well, the snake is very resourceful. The snake always wins. The snake has different ability, the ability of camouflage. They know how to hunt, when to hunt, what to hunt. So they have a big understanding of their environment, and they are very good predators, And connected to Lilith too, we have that element of the snake very much. And not only that we have the element of the snake, but the snake, as I've said, is one with Lilith. It goes around her, meaning that Lilith has exactly the same powers that the snake has, naturally. They say, well, the snake is her friend. That Lilith is the lover of all creatures. She is the mother of all creatures. And she loves mostly those creatures who are thrown away or not good. That element of Lilith, to say, well, she loves monsters. She loves, her love does not stop anywhere. It is something that it is Lilith. Her name means love as well, Lilith. So of course she is one with the snake. So well, the snake gives his powers gladly to Lilith. They are symbiotic. It is one as the other. This has the same meaning. One or the other or another or one another. They have a connection, To say always where Lilith is, a snake is too. It is one of her companions. Lilith loves snakes. It is the animal that it is at her level. It's the animal that understands Lilith the most. You say, well, others animals too, but the snake has a special part in Lilith's life. The snake, it is almost like her brother or sister. That's how Lilith sees the snake. And of course it speaks about a part of innocence too. So well, if you don't know that the snake is dangerous, you will play with it. It is the innocent part of it. So well, of course, if you know that the snake can bite you and is dangerous or could harm you, you will not play with it. So it's that element of the innocence, of that part of that innocence that Lilith still carries, And in the same time, in Lilith's case, is correct, because of course no animal would ever harm Lilith. It is impossible. She speaks their language. Lilith is one with all creatures of earth. She protects them. She is there as their mother, as I've said. That's very much Lilith. So for me, that image speaks a lot, So well, maybe when the painter painted it, of course, he did his own research, but I don't think he understood as much of how important that symbol was. Of course, he knew, but just the way that it is. So beautiful portrait in the painting he painted. I don't think he was aware how beautiful work he did, really, how correct his work was, how guided his work was as well. It is just the perfect representation of Lilith. I could not have asked for anything better. It's just so perfect, it's just so beautiful. And the colors represent Lilith in this painting as well. Those greens, the green is the color of Lilith, and that green, but it is a very ephemeral, euphoric type of green, almost like a smoke that moves in the air, and it's a little intoxicated. There's the element of Lilith as well, and he created that. And then the element of nature of her with her feet. For me, she has her feet on the earth with the grass, but I always picture it in a little pound of water. That's how I see it, because anyway, the earth is wet, is feucht in German, no? It's a Feuchtigkeit, that it is like the earth is full with water, the element of the water. I always see Lily's feet, bare feet, in some type of water, like from the rain, like outside, no, in the nature. The element of the grass, of the earth, of the rain, that it is very much Lilith, it is very much her. Or that green, or that leaves, or flowers, or that element of nature in its true glory, in its beautiful properties, the smell of a flower, the water on the petals of a flower, all those elements are very much Lilith. But as I've said, Lilith has many things that are different as well. There is always a contradictory element to Lilith. There is no way other, because she is daughter of God. So she changes, she always changes, no? We have spoken about the water lily. There's the element of the white. The true color of Lilith is white. And that's the element of her. That's the color that I would give her and say, well, of course, sometimes she appears with dark hair, sometimes she appears with red hair, sometimes she appears in green with a lot of colors and flowers and everything around her. But actually, her color, in the meaning, it is white. That's the best description I can give Lilith to. It is the ivory. It is the lily flower, the water lily. All those flowers have that white. That's the color of Lilith. And the beautiful pattern of the snake too in the painting. It's very beautiful made. It's a little green, greyish. There's the element of the grey as well. It fits very much to that ambient where Lilith is. It's like part of the camouflage. It's just such a beautiful dance between her and the snake, and how she holds the snake's head, with joy, and how she, it's just so beautiful to see nature in that ambient of perfection, of something so beautiful. And almost like the snake takes away from, because Lilith is naked, she doesn't wear clothes, and he protects her exactly in those areas. He takes care of her, It's like a very gentle aspect of both, that innocence, that beautiful part of innocence, or something that maybe was lost. To say, well, maybe if I look at the image now, I don't see the innocence, But actually it speaks about innocence. It gives me memories when I was a child and I was doing exactly those things, It's like, Lilith is there in that moment. Lilith takes care of you in that moment. And even if it seems doing something a little more out of the order, or a little that could be a little bit dangerous, but Lilith is there helping. She knows. She is the type of teacher, So Lilith is mother. She will never let anyone know. So but she does bring you to elements that you have never experienced before. There is a intoxicating part of Lilith. So say, if I was to speak about that element, it is the smoke, or bitterness, or something from nature. But it is always with the element of, or even a snake, There is the venom, or the anti-venom of the snake. say, well, if you have the antidote, no, that's very much Lilith. To say, well, the intoxication part is part of the healing. It's part of that element coming back and rectifying something. It's the element that moves back, that creates that positive outcome. It's like a switch that opens or it closes. It's very much Lilith. She knows which way to take one. She knows what to show you, no? The element of very, very wise. It's of course very much connected to the element of the owl that she carries, the element of the snake, and the element of the lion. These three animals are Lilith. And in the more old representation of her, we see her in a totally different aspect, in the aspect of power, the aspect of who she was in her own glory. There was a culture which have venerated Lilith as a true goddess, as Lilith deserved. It was not always honored that way, but that culture all honored Lilith the correct way, no? And they portrayed her in a very beautiful way, very beautiful form, very powerful, with her with a leg on the lion, holding the lion, and the feet of the owl, and it's just so beautiful, such a perfect, beautiful image they have created for Lilith, to honor her, to venerate her. And in those ones always appears the element of the stars. You see the star, and that aspect was lost after in the paintings. In general, we don't see the sun or the stars or the moon around her. It's more, the focus is more on Lilith, or on that aspect of her nakedness, or of that more silent element of Lilith, no? As I've said, different presentation of Lilith, but of course, you say, well, they are not wrong. It is not, none of are wrong. It's just, as I've said, shows different times of history, just differences. So, well, history does move through time, and there are differences, and one should not negate them for being what they are, because they are true in that moment, and that's all that matters. And history, everything has a road, so it's almost like as a person say, well, I have a success now, but then I punish myself that I didn't succeed before. You know, no, you don't do that, no? So that's, so to say, Lilith too, to say, well, one has to learn to respond to danger or to situation. When Lilith teaches those harder aspects of oneself, but those are the most important, the very necessary parts. Yeah, to say, well, innocence does not take you far, you know. Innocence can exist only there where it is protected by something. So, well, the innocence is not able to protect itself. The innocent is innocent, no? And Lilith protects exactly that. That is what Lilith does. Lilith is the protector of the innocence. She is there where no one is there. That's the element of Lilith. And not only her. So, well, Lilith is connected to the stars, is connected to God. So if one wants to understand Lilith, one has to understand God. So, well, Lilith and God are one as well, of course, no? It is his daughter. So, well, of course, through that, Lilith has different powers. So, well, she is not human. Lilith is not human. It is represented in paintings or in art on different cultures and so on and so forth. But Lilith is not human. It's not a simple human, no? The abilities that she has. And, yeah, this is like very clear that she is not human. Has never been human, will ever be human, Lilith, no? And it is beautiful to see her in the paintings. And the paintings of Lilith carry something absolutely extraordinary. You say, well, the painting does come to life. The painting is alive, no? You say, well, the painter did such a good work that the painting came alive. That's the beautiful thing of those paintings of Lilith, because they are just timeless. They are just perfect made by those painters. I have so much appreciation, not only for their talent, but for the way they have represented her. It just makes me in awe, because I do know many things about Lilith, and the way they capture that through the art is just really impressive. It's really very beautiful. And of course it gives Lily such a beautiful allure, such a beautiful, it is transcendental. You transcend something. It is just, it takes you to a place that seems big and large and beautiful and wild, and there's space and there's air, and you feel almost like you're sitting in that painting. All the elements are given to you that you almost feel Lilith the way she feels there, and it's almost like you are there too as well in that environment. So it's very beautiful correspondence between the painting and the us, now the one who are seeing the painting. It's has a very beautiful language. So of course one sees now that Lilith works in very little detail. She's very fine in her work. And say, well, doesn't mean that if I'm working little fine. No, Lily says that the result will not be big. That's a wrong thinking. Lilith understands things differently because she's very wise. She knows. So, of course, she always has success. There is no question about that. Not Lilith's work is important, or Lilith's appearance is important, of course, and. Knowing more things about her, one can realize that, well, I did feel Lilith around me. If I've never seen her, but if I think back when I was a child, I had those moments where I questioned or I understood something and I felt something, and for me that was Lilith, because I was in her environment. That's what she wanted me to experience in that moment. She wanted to show me, to teach me something that the normal will never teach me. That's very much Lilith. To say, well, Lilith is strong, Lilith is a survivor, Lilith has been through those elements of the dark and has been able to free herself every time, and she knows that power that it holds. So, well, you hold the true key of your own power, and there's only one key for your own power, no? But I do enjoy the more finer element, to say, well, I like to imagine, feel Lilith through the most finest of the elements. That's how I enjoy to feel Lilith, in her presence of the perfect beauty of the perfect moment. And it's something very unique and simple and beautiful, and I understand it. I know, even now, even when I didn't know in the past, I know now. That's very much Lilith. Thank you so much for listening. I will continue another time. As I've said, you can subscribe to my channel. You can always see the new different playlists and the different content that I record and I speak about my books. There are other playlists with other of my books that I speak about the book and the character. If you're interested to listen to those as well, there is a link in the description box. If you're interested to buy the Book of Lilith, there is a link in the description box below, which brings you direct to the book. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, bye.